Have you ever looked at something in nature, like a plant, and wondered how it stays so perfectly clean, even when it's sitting in a muddy pond? Well, today we're going to dive into the incredible science behind self-cleaning surfaces. And it's a trick we're actually learning from one amazing flower.
Okay, just look at this. I promise you this is not some kind of special effect. This is what really happens when water hits a lotus leaf. It doesn't soak in, it doesn't spread out, nope. It beads up into these perfect little spheres that just sit there, and with even the tiniest little tilt, they roll right off, and get this, they take all the dirt with them.
So how? I mean, really, how does the lotus leaf pull this off? What is the secret to this amazing, built-in cleaning system? Well, the answer isn't magic, but it might as well be. It all comes down to some absolutely mind-blowing engineering on a microscopic scale.
All right, let's get into the science of it. To really get what the lotus is doing, we first have to understand the basics of how water interacts with any kind of surface. And really, it all boils down to one single, super important measurement.
It's called the contact angle. And I know, it sounds a little technical, but it's actually super simple. Just picture it like this. If the angle is small, kind of like a gentle ramp, it means the water is comfortable and spreads out. But if the angle is big and steep, the water basically hates the surface and tries to pull itself into a ball to touch as little of it as possible.
And here you can see that whole range perfectly. Over on the left, you've got superhydrophilic surfaces. Hydro for water, philic for loving, so water-loving. The water just completely flattens out. But way over on the right, you get to superhydrophobic. Phobic means fearing, so water-fearing. This is where the water pulls itself into that tight little ball we saw, trying to escape. And here's the magic number you need to remember, 150 degrees. If you can get a contact angle greater than 150 degrees, you've officially created a superhydrophobic surface. And at that point, the water isn't just sitting there, it's practically floating on a cushion of air.
So, the big question is, how on earth does a simple leaf achieve that? An angle over 150 degrees? Well, the secret isn't just about the material of the leaf, but its structure, the way it's built. So let's zoom in, way in, and see what's really going on.
So we're starting here, looking at the lotus plant in its home, a pond, which is often pretty muddy. And from far away, the leaves look, well, they just look smooth, right? Kind of waxy. But trust me, that smoothness is a complete illusion. Now, let's fire up an electron microscope and zoom way in. And wow, suddenly you see the truth. The surface isn't smooth at all. It's covered in thousands and thousands of these tiny little bumps. This is the first part of its incredible defense against water.
But hold on, it gets even crazier. Because if we zoom in even more on one of those little bumps, we find that the bumps themselves are covered in even smaller, waxy nano-scale structures. It's literally a texture on top of a texture, like finding tiny mountains on top of bigger mountains.
So, that's it. That's the two-part secret. First, you have this crazy complex, hierarchical structure, the bumps on top of bumps. And second, the whole thing is coated in a waxy substance that naturally repels water. It's the combination of the physical shape and the surface chemistry that creates this incredible effect. Okay, so when water hits a rough surface like this, one of two things can happen. In what scientists call the Wenzel state, the water actually sinks down into all the nooks and crannies, which can make it stick even more. But on the lotus leaf, something different happens. We get the Cassie-Baxter state. And this is where the water just balances on the very tippy tops of those structures.
And this visual makes it perfectly clear. Look at the right side, the Cassie-Baxter state. The water droplet is literally riding on a cushion of trapped air. It's barely even touching the solid surface of the leaf. That pocket of air, that is the secret sauce. That's what reduces the friction to almost nothing and lets the water just roll away. And here is the incredible result of all that complex science. As that droplet rolls, it acts like a perfect little vacuum cleaner or a tiny lint roller. It just picks up any dust or dirt particles in its path and carries them away. You can see on a normal surface, the water just makes a muddy mess. This is the Lotus Effect in action. Self-cleaning perfection. Now, when you see a design in nature that's this clever, you can't just leave it in the pond, right? Of course not. We humans are trying to copy it. And there's a whole field of science dedicated to this called biomimicry. It's all about looking at nature's best ideas and figuring out how to use them to solve our own problems. And what's amazing is that the lotus isn't alone in having this superpower. Nature has figured this out more than once.
We see these same kinds of incredible water-repelling structures on things like rice leaves and even the wings of butterflies. All of them have evolved a way to stay dry and clean.
So this isn't just some cool trivia about plants and bugs. This technology, inspired by nature, is already being used to create amazing super surfaces that are popping up all around us. You might even be using some of them without even realizing it.
A great example is self-cleaning windows. Now they use a really clever two-part trick. First, there's a special coating on the glass that uses UV light from the sun to actively break down dirt and grime. But then, and this is the cool part, when it rains, that same coating becomes temporarily water-loving. So instead of beading, the water spreads out into a sheet, and it just washes all that broken down dirt right off. So clever.
And the applications are just exploding from there. We're talking anti-fog surfaces for your glasses, bathroom mirrors, or camera lenses. How about solar panels that clean themselves? You can boost their efficiency by a ton if they're not covered in dust. They're even making coatings for ships to keep barnacles off and help them cut through the water with less drag. It's really incredible.
So really, this quote just sums it all up perfectly. It's that specific combination, high water repellency plus just the right kind of surface roughness, that creates the magic. That's what lets those water droplets roll off so easily and take all the dirt with them.
Of course, it's not all perfect, yet. The single biggest challenge we face right now is just making these things last. I mean, these are delicate nanostructures. It's one thing to make them in a clean lab, but it's a whole other challenge to make them tough enough to survive for years out in the real world, getting scraped and blasted by the elements.
But we're getting better and better at mimicking nature's designs every day. And it really gets you thinking, doesn't it? If you had this technology, if you could make any surface totally self-cleaning, so it never got dirty or wet, what's the very first problem you would solve with it?